5 things that were normal in the past but are crazy today. Number 5 is people not knowing how to swim. It was actually quite normal for people to drown back in the olden times. And even up until the 1920s, most people didn't know how to swim. This was because swimming was seen as a leisurely activity for rich people. And if you were poor, you'd be working long hours, meaning you wouldn't have the free time or energy to learn how to swim. There also weren't really any public pools or beaches either, so it was a lot harder to practice your swimming. But today, not knowing how to swim is pretty crazy. It's an essential life skill that everyone should know, and there are plenty of public pools and beaches where you can practice your swimming. Number 4 is smoking indoors. Back in the olden times, there weren't really any laws against smoking indoors, and most people smoked indoors. This meant that your house would always smell like smoke and you'd constantly have to worry about a fire breaking out. But today, smoking indoors is illegal, and most people understand how harmful it is to your health. Number 3 is walking everywhere. Before cars were invented, people had to walk everywhere. This meant that if you wanted to go to the shops, you'd have to walk there. And if you wanted to go further afield, you'd have to walk there. Sometimes people would walk many miles each day. And if you wanted to do a long-distance journey, you'd have to walk for many days. Of course, this isn't the case anymore, and most of us only walk a few miles each year. In fact, some people don't even leave their house unless they absolutely have to, and instead, they get everything delivered to their door. Number 2 is getting married young. For most of history, people got married quite young. In fact, the average age of a bride in the U.S. in 1900 was just 20, and many women got married even younger than this. Men were also marrying young, but today, people tend to get married a lot later in life, and it's not really normal to marry in your early 20s. In fact, in some countries, the average age of a bride is closer to 30, and number 1 is insane working hours. Back in the olden times, people used to work insane hours. It wasn't uncommon for people to work 16-hour days, and some people worked even longer than this. Children also worked long hours and sometimes had to work as servants. But today, most people only work around 8 hours a day, and child labor laws have made it so that children no longer have to work long hours. Thanks for watching. If you want to see another video just like this one, then check out the next video.